Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. My name is Jasleen Gore, and I'm a trans creator on the Guru Granth Sahib Project. We're excited to announce the release of Ramkali Ki Var, a composition uttered by bards Sata and Balvand in the court of the Guru. These compositions function in a few different ways. They give us kind of a history lesson on the passing of Guruship from Guru Nanak Sahib to Guru Ramdas Sahib. They give us insight into the revolution of the Gurus, what Guru Nanak Sahib came here to do. And then they also function as just like praise of the Gurus, praise of the vastness of the Gurus, of the institutions of the Gurus, and sort of ways to discuss the legitimacy and authority of the Gurus who came after Guru Nanak Sahib. There's one specific composition that really has stuck out to me that I keep returning to, and that's the first composition. And I think it's because we get into a lot of discussions within the community about like, is Sikhi a religion? Is it a lifestyle? Is it something else? And we get into discussions about Midi Bidi as a principle, whether Midi and Bidi are sort of on equal footing, whether it's a kind of give and take, whether Midi comes first or Bidi comes first. And I think that Sata and Balvand like really clear some things up for us. I think they, right in the first composition, they say, Nanak started the Raj, built truth like fort by laying firm foundation. And I think the use of Raj is really important because Raj refers to governance. It refers to the political. It refers to nations and empires or republics, depending on what we're talking about. And so the statement is that Guru Nanak Sahib came here to start a new form of governance, something that was different from the temporal governances that he saw around him. This kind of Raj is built on that truth-like fort. It's founded in the eternal. It's rooted in the eternal. It derives its authority and legitimacy and sovereignty from the eternal. And so I think that idea that like this eternal fort whose foundation is strong, whose foundation is like these divine virtues, is important because we tend to try and separate sort of what we see as the spiritual like divine virtues and qualities from the more sort of overtly political. And Sata and Balvand are telling us right in this first composition that those things are inseparable, because it's actually that the political is rooted in those quote unquote spiritual elements and in the divine. You have imagery of sort of canopies being placed overheads and this passing of the Guruship throughout the 8 compositions. So also like deeply political imagery. But one of the lines that is really beautiful in how it marries, again, those things that we say are opposing when they're not, is the line that says, he placed a canopy over the head of Lena, the one sipping Amrit by doing praise. So obviously like placing a canopy over someone's head is imagery that we see in courts when kings would pass the kingship on to their sons. And so that's a deeply sort of political and worldly image, right? But then the second part of that is that Bailana, later to become Guru Angad Sahib, has been sipping Amrit by doing praise. So sipping this immortal nectar that he's been imbibing, it's been changing him from the inside out, changing his behavior, making him virtuous enough to be anointed. And he is doing that imbibing by praising the One, by following the command of the Guru. So again, that authority and legitimacy is actually rooted in Bailana's relationship with the One, relationship with the Guru, understanding of the command, relationship with the command, and in his behavioral changes, in the imbibing of those divine-like virtues that happens through this great discipline. So I think that, this is a really good composition for trying to understand Midi Bidi and trying to understand what we mean by Raj Jog, governance and sort of method or way or light. And I think that it also sort of then leads me to certain questions that I've been reflecting on that I'll share with you, that you can kind of take or leave as you see fit. But, you know, given this kind of symbolism and imagery throughout these compositions, we know that sort of this Guruship is rooted in the wisdom of the eternal. And that means that the strength of that Guruship and of the Gurus is coming from there too. And it means that the strength of the Sangha is coming from there too. So then my question for myself the last few months has been, where am I deriving my strength? And where am I sort of rooting my politics? What even are my politics? And what is my strength? And how am I going to make sure that I'm honoring this continued revolution that Guru Nanak Sahib started? How do I practice that revolution in my day-to-day life? So those are some of the questions I've been reflecting on. I hope that you spend time with these compositions. There's 8 of them. They're all very beautiful. And we'll give you a little bit of a history lesson too, which is kind of different from other compositions we've worked on. And I hope you spend time with the commentaries as usual, the literal and interpretive transcreation and translations, and the word meaning sections and the footnotes if you really want to nerd out. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.